I get asked this question all the time. Is fill in the blank fragrance safe to blind buy? This is a funny question to me because, as common as it is, we never truly define what we mean by safe. 9 times out of 10, the fragrances that I'm asked about in this way are indeed safe, as long as purchasing them does not prevent you from paying your expenses or have some kind of negative effect on your health. In that regard, they're safe. But I think we know what people actually mean when they ask this question. What they're really asking is, will this be a likable fragrance? Now, on the surface, 9 times out of 10, the answer to that question is, again, yes. Why? Because if you're asking me, a vast majority of the fragrances on the market today smell good, at least. But for me at this point in my fragrance journey, good is not good enough. I have a lot of fragrances I only just like. Liking is not bad, but there tends to be a whole lot more of like than love, I would say, for most of us when it comes to our fragrance collections. And guess what? The fragrances I only just like, I hardly wear them. I overlook them for fragrances that I love most of the time. I have to go out of my way to remind myself to wear these fragrances. I have a feeling that you can relate to this too. Let me know down in the comments. So the question is, why spend your money on fragrances you don't love? Well, obviously, when we're blind buying, we have no control over this. There's a high chance you will like a blind buy, but there is a slim chance that you will absolutely love it. It will be an irrefutable, mind-blowing fragrance for you in your collection. So the question is, how do you make sure you love a fragrance? Well, that's simple. Decant first. The funny thing is, most of you who ask about blind buys already know this, but you're looking for someone to tell you it's okay, to give you permission or affirmation to give in to your emotions and make the purchase out of pure excitement. Now, emotional decisions are not a sin. We're human. But when left unmanaged, they tend to be the main culprit of self-inflicted disappointment. Now, unfortunately, the most fundamental nature of the fragrance community here on social media is acquisition. Most content, my own included, features a component of encouraging and enabling others to spend their money on products. At the end of the day, it's sales. It's kind of odd when you think about it. As a creator, it's truly a challenge to build a genuine and expansive following while only talking about fragrances you love personally and not necessarily trying to encourage or influence others to buy what you have. It seems that every piece of content that goes up here in the fragrance space, in order for it to be legitimized or credible, it must feature recommendations of some kind. We're surrounded by it, so we don't even see it, ironically enough. But I recognize that this is simply a component of modern entertainment. If you're not leaving people with laughs, then you better at least leave people with ways that they can spend their money to hopefully enhance their lives, even in some small way. Despite all of that, I truly appreciate your viewership. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos and maybe even value my opinion if you do. But a word to anyone who may ask, henceforth, if you ask me about safe blind buys, my answer will always be sample first if possible. Now, I understand that that is not always a possibility depending on the fragrance. And I'm not going to fault you for doing the blind buy because,
surprise,
I do it myself on occasion and under very particular circumstances. But just know that me nor anyone else can guarantee that you will love a fragrance you have not yet smelled. Now, can there be a consensus that a fragrance is generally likable and easy to wear? Of course. But should that be enough reason to buy it? That's the question. For me, it's not, because I most likely already have 85 other fragrances that do just that are just likable and easy to wear. I have tons of those. You might too. If you have a growing collection, this is the quickest route to redundancy if you're not careful. Be specific and intentional about your acquisitions. A general rule of thumb I have is, if your emotions are running high and you feel excited about getting a particular fragrance, give it 24 hours. From that moment, say, okay, I'm excited, I want to buy this, but let me wait 24 hours. If you still feel the same way after that, then go for it. But just know that once you've taken that plunge, you forfeit your privilege to complain if you don't like the fragrance. Just saying. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Would love to talk about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.